Chapter 30. Build Diverse Teams. When I bought the WNBA team, I saw that no one really cared about them. Like the locker facilities that these young women have to work in, they weren't right. I want to give them the best locker room facility and show them they're valued. Because if you show them value, they're going to perform better. And this goes for all women, not just basketball players. Sheila Johnson. The best team around. Because colored men and women couldn't fight in the war, I worked as a scout and a spy for the Union Army. I was in command of a team of scouts who helped in the planning of the movement of the Union soldiers. The best scouts and river pilots in South Carolina were on my team. I knew that the best folks to help me around South Carolina were folks who lived there. The men that worked with me were local people, and they knew every inch of that area. We could talk to the colored folks in these big rice and tobacco plantations and find out what they knew about the rebels, particularly where they kept their supplies and where they hid their weapons. After President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, ending slavery in the Confederate States, he let colored soldiers fight in the war. When General Hunter asked me to lead several gunboats of colored soldiers up the Combahee River near Beaufort to attack the rebels, I asked him if he would appoint Colonel James Montgomery as our commander. I met him when I was going to planning meetings to help John Brown. General Hunter agreed to appoint Colonel Montgomery. Our mission was to destroy the rebels' torpedoes, railroads, bridges, and cut off their supplies. My main riverboat pilot was Mr. Walter Plowden, who was the best in the country. Mr. Plowden brought with him some pilots who knew the channels of the rivers and the area like the back of their hands. Now, you won't hear the names of my brave team anywhere else in the history books because these were colored men who did not get medals for what they did for the Army and the Navy. But they are heroes just the same. They deserve some credit. On my team, the scouts and pilots were Mr. Plowden, were Mr. Peter Burns, Mr. Mott Blake, Mr. Sandy Selters, Mr. Solomon Gregory, Mr. Isaac Hayward, Mr. Gabriel Cohen, Mr. George Cusham, Mr. Charles Simon, and Mr. Samuel Hayward. Early in the morning on June 3rd, 1863, we loaded up 300 colored soldiers in 3 gunboats and quietly sailed up the crooked and narrow Combahee River. We attacked them before they knew what happened. We weakened the rebels along the river by bringing away food, weapons, supplies, and almost 800 slaves without the loss of a single life on our part. Of these, among 800 free colored folks, nearly all of the able-bodied men joined the Army. Now that is what I call teamwork. I didn't know it, but I heard I made some history. This raid was the first raid in the United States planned and successfully carried out by a woman. Me, Harriet Tubman. I have to say, it was the work of my great team that made it possible. Build diverse teams. Team building involves diversity, recognition and appreciation, shared decision-making, and recruitment of skilled people with different backgrounds. Each person brings a unique perspective to the discussion. Listen to them. As skillful as Harriet Tubman was, she could not do everything by herself. Teams help leaders reach their goals. The strength of a team is diversity. When you are willing to work with people with different skill sets and from different cultures, you get a better result. Great leaders know the importance of diversity on teams. Activities. Discussion questions. Sheila Johnson was born January 25, 1949. She is an American businesswoman, co-founder of BET, CEO of Salamander Hotels and Resorts, and the first billionaire African-American woman. Sheila Johnson is team president, managing partner, and governor of the WNBA's Washington Mystics. Discussion question number 1. How did Sheila Johnson make her WNBA team play better by changing their locker room? 2. Why do you think their locker rooms were not well kept before Sheila Johnson took over? Journaling. Do you have a project or goal for which you need to have a team of people to help you be successful? Number 2, what makes the team you select the best team? Number 3, what do you bring to the team that can make it a stronger team? Describe your superpowers on teams. Write a paragraph describing the strengths, talents, and the superpowers you bring to the team.